CT, Danny Liff, and Jaleesi boy. We up right now, locking up your Saturday. Tell your bookie send my payment. Lot of opinions, but we only care about one statement. It's Boston Eddie Cappers, yeah. 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 Boston Eddie Cappers.
Welcome in to the Tuesday opener of the Boston Handicappers. I'm your host here, Dan Lifshatz, of course, with Mr. Julian Edlow. No CT bets as he's what is he attending the Celtics game tonight? What does he think he's some sort of special guy? No, he's attending the Celtics game.
That's generally an indicator to bet the Knicks.
Yeah, he is pretty much the worst person to have at a basketball game. I think he's worth like 3 to 4 points in a football game, but he's like -5 points in an NBA game, no doubt about it. So yeah. So apologies, I'm not in the studio tonight. That's why I have the Josh Norris vibes going on.
You're in a very dark place.
Dark room. Yeah, dark room. It's very dark. So from parts unknown, but we're getting the show going. Drudy G checking in. Lane Train. We'll talk about that, of course. Yes, Captain Caveman commenting on the lighting. That's
and right, looks like Captain Caveman.
That's right. Yeah, maybe I'll slide right over a little bit. Yeah, either way. But yeah, nice and dark tonight for your boy here. But let's talk about some stuff, Jules. Obviously, let's talk about some stuff. The playoff rankings just came out a few minutes ago. Pretty much no movement. Ole Miss is still 6th. Oklahoma is still 8th, which I completely disagree with. Notre Dame is still 10th. So basically, we have no movement in the playoff rankings. Alabama is 9th.
Did Alabama move ahead of Notre Dame? That's a change,
yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Alabama, which makes sense because you don't want the loser of the SEC championship game out. So you have to put Bama in front of Notre Dame, which makes sense.
Bama ahead of Notre Dame to say if BYU wins, even if Alabama goes to 10-3 with a loss to Georgia, that it's Notre Dame out, BYU in if BYU wins that game.
Correct. And our guy asking here, Heisman and predictions of the playoffs. So we'll definitely get to the Heisman tonight. Don't worry. I have a lot of Notre Dame tickets. Do they get in? So to me, the answer is yes. Again, as Jules just kind of mentioned, it is
the Notre Dame make miss is BYU money line.
I agree.
That's simple.
Yeah, it is. It is that simple. Now, I disagree with that. I really don't like the way that, it's kind of viewed there, but that is the way that it's worked out, and that's the way we're kind of going right now. So there's no other way to put it. That's the way it's going to be, unfortunately. I disagree with a lot of the things that the committee has done. I mean, for instance, where do you have Oklahoma right now?
Yeah, I mean, the committee is no good. The rules also, this is a side tangent, and then I'll talk about Oklahoma.
Yep.
Like the conferences and these rules, just get your shit in order. And we don't have to be in these situations. Instead of having a tiebreaker that puts 7-5 Duke in the ACC due to I don't know what because I didn't look.
Yep.
Just make it the highest ranked team in the tiebreaker. Miami's
really easy.
And in.
Yeah, it's
problem solved. Miami's in the ACC title game. You're playing. Everybody's playing for exactly what you want. If we're having 5-way ties, highest ranked team by the committee is where it goes. That is easy. Oklahoma question, I think that one thing the committee doesn't do is, they escaped, they won, they keep their ranking. You got to grade, these teams should be winning. You barely escaped LSU. You should be nicked for that. And it should probably go Alabama, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is the team that the 10-2 team that deserves most to get bounced if BYU are to win.
I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious. And look, I like Oklahoma. We've obviously bet on them a few times this year. I think, the Michigan game was probably our largest Oklahoma bet. But, we bet against them in the Texas game. Like, they have a loss outright to Texas in a game that was really non-competitive. I understand Mateer was hurt. But, how are they, no offense, how are they ahead of Texas? That's another one I don't quite understand. I hate how they've done it. I agree here. If we're going to put Oklahoma in, Texas, in my opinion, has got to be close to being ahead of them. We're going to start punishing Texas for scheduling Ohio State. We're going to start doing the thing that we've always talked about with this group is where if you start scheduling the Ohio States and we see Texas, Ohio State in the non-con, well, Texas has no incentive anymore to schedule Ohio State ever again. So now they would have been better off scheduling dumb fuck Northwestern State and they would have been in. Right, because that's really where we are. So this sucks. I hate that it's purely off record. Like there's got to be another way to do this at this point. And I agree. You're Jules 100% correct. The Duke situation is absolutely disgrace. I agree. I think the conference is a problem. I think the playoffs have a problem. It's a fucking travesty the way they're doing things now. They've ruined the sport. Let's just call it out.
If Duke wins this game and like let's just say chalk holds across the board in the rest of the games, we're now looking at bitching and moaning about Miami not being in, Texas not being in, Vandy not being in, and we have, I'm saying favorites win, so James Madison and North Texas, who are the favorites in those games, in, right?
So let me get the rules straight. So I believe that if
the five best conference champions have to be in.
Right.
And if Duke wins, James Madison and North Texas are higher ranked than Duke, they're in. Well, so now we have North Texas and James Madison getting spots now over Texas and Miami and Vandy.
Right now,
and BYU.
Hey, it gets even crazier if North Texas loses too, which is a certain possibility because
Tulane, but wouldn't it just go Tulane and James Madison?
So I've heard that it won't necessarily be Tulane then. Then it could go down to someone like Boise, which is crazy because Boise, who is like 7-5 or whatever, but is terrible because of the fact that they've lost Maddox Madsen. So, and now Madsen is going to be back. Well, if you talk about that,
and you could look at it that way, yeah.
But like this is my point that we're getting to the point now where everything is absolutely fucking insane. And yes, I know Caveman's here is saying Tulane is ranked number 20.
Yeah,
that's
I'm with
correct.
I'm with Caveman.
Correct, which is correct. Well, that's not because the committee is gonna view Boise with Madsen and without Madsen. If Madsen plays this week, they may be viewed higher, even though with the record they may be viewed higher. And that's been some discussion. But Elliot talked about on his show today. There's been some discussion about that as well. So we're talking about a real fucking hodgepodge if Duke wins and North Texas loses. So this could be an absolute disaster.
Let me lay something out for you because of what you just said. So if we parlay, that's Tulane wins and Boise would have to win. And who else? Duke would have to win, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm in Virginia on DK. Sorry. I want to lay out a scenario here. You can go to the next thing and I'll tell you what I'm thinking here. I'm saying what those three teams combined would be on a money line parlay versus what Boise is to make the playoff probably isn't the same, if that makes sense. Okay, hold on. I'm doing it now.
Tulane, Boise 300 to 1 or something insane.
Tulane, Boise, and Duke on a money line parlay as CT Bets tweets out Celtics +1 as an NBA bet.
Okay, that's sure to go super
so
well.
Duke, Tulane, and Boise is +691 on DraftKings. So let's call it 7-1.
Right.
But in that scenario, you're saying it could be Boise getting in and Boise to make the playoff. We don't even have them up on DraftKings.
Yeah, exactly. No,
UNLV's up and Boise's not up.
So Caveman saying, how does Boise State...
So UNLV is priced at 30-1, which means Boise's longer than 30-1.
Correct.
Yet the parlay situation you laid out is 7-1.
Correct. So, and he said, how does Boise State jump like 10 spots? Because, Caveman, and I'm going to lay this out for you again, even though I just did this. So listen, open up your old man ears here. Right. Okay, Caveman, I love you, but seriously, open up your old man ears here, okay? Tulane has, despite the fact that they have the Northwestern win, I think, or whatever it is, they have some terrible fucking losses. Terrible. Okay.
So does Boise.
Yeah, they do.
But you could say they're without Madsen.
Boise lost without Madsen. Okay. With Madsen, it's the Florida State rule that happened a couple of years ago, where Florida State was ruled
It's almost
out.
the reverse. It's the reverse.
It's the reverse of it's the reverse Florida State right now. I don't necessarily know that the Boise State would make it in over Tulane, but it's being theorized that the committee could potentially look at it like that because of some comments that were made that way earlier this week.
If that is really the theory, I'm finding some Boise at something longer than 30-1.
It's like 300-1. It's fucking insane. So look, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's like really a scenario we really need to go through. But my point was this shit, while it's a lot of fun and it makes it somewhat interesting, also fucking sucks for certain fan bases. Like this is just, it's bullshit. That's the reality of where we are. I hate some of these scenarios. Like if we're just, why isn't Miami just in the ACC? Miami's great. Miami's a good fucking team. Yes, they had a bad loss one time this year, so they're just out of the playoffs.
What has to happen? Let me ask you this, Dan. What has to happen for Alabama to be out?
So for Alabama to be out, I actually don't.
They would have to lose so badly that the committee
Correct.
puts them below Notre Dame and BYU wins.
Well, here's the other scenario in that one, Jules, is that Simpson gets hurt.
Ah, shit.
Yeah, right. So it would have to be Bama loses and Simpson gets hurt. I think that is the number there. Or so as you mentioned, they get abs.
We didn't have Alabama on the board at DraftKings Sportsbook prior to the show. Yep. And now they are on the board. Minus 1,800, yes. Plus 900, no.
Yeah, I don't.
Notre Dame's minus 500.
I don't know. I don't know how we're going to view I don't know how we're going to view Alabama if that happens. I think if they lose, they're probably still in as long as it's a competitive game. If they lose and Simpson gets hurt, they're definitely out. If they get blown the fuck out, it's and again, we're talking about a world where the Big Ten, SEC, and Big 12 annex themselves. I mean, that is exactly what they're saying. And Connor is right. The committee said they won't penalize conference championship games, so Alabama in theory should be allowed. Correct.
If Alabama, there's no reason to go 10-2.
But they said
play the same.
They said
run the risk of injury.
They said the same thing in the Florida State game, and here we are. You know what I mean? Again, I want to because they'll make
wasn't Travis hurt before the title game?
Travis was hurt before the title game, but they said they're not going to penalize them for that. So so what they're going to say is along those lines. And again,
I mean, if you're Alabama, you almost want to like tap out of the game. I mean, if you beat Georgia, you can move up. You almost want to tap out of the game. Like send Oklahoma. If Oklahoma loses, they'd probably be out of the whole
100%. I mean that's the theory is do conference championships actually have value at this point?
Yeah,
my argument is
crazy moving target, this entire landscape.
Yeah, I completely agree. I fucking hate it. I hate the way that we're trending with the way that these things are going. It's incredibly frustrating to me the way that college football is trending right now. That's all. I hate it.
We can, maybe you want to do the same, Dan, but I'll just lay out for like the listeners and viewers because they've listened to shows from preseason. Like I'll just lay out what my weekend kind of is.
Yep.
Like in pocket. We took Ohio State the last weekend. They were plus money, like plus 120 range.
Well, we have 2-1 and we have was it +1? I think we have even. I think 2-1 and even is what we gave out. Maybe we just gave out.
So on here, I bet it at the time at plus 120. So Ohio State to win.
I think we gave out even.
Gonna go ahead and ride that game, whatever you have. Ohio State at plus money. I'm gonna ride that.
Numbers come way down.
I think CT and I gave out Boise to win the Mountain West before the season. I know I did.
Minus 135. Yep.
Got very fortunate on the old Mountain West computer and when it spits out.
Again, another absolutely fucking ridiculous situation. It is a situation, but 100%.
So they go from maybe being in, maybe being out to hosting on the Smurf turf and getting Madsen back, which is awesome. So I'm riding Boise. If anything, I might try and if UNLV's at 4, I might try and tease UNLV to like a 10 with something that I really like.
Yep.
And try and just leave a little window there potentially. And then Notre Dame and Alabama to make the playoff. I think we're both given out here, right? I know I gave out Notre Dame.
I don't know at the top
If
of my
I
head.
didn't
I
give
know
out Alabama, I'll just say I gave it out preseason in an article.
we
So
definitely have Notre Dame. I
we
don't
definitely have
know
Notre Dame. If I didn't give
and I
Bama
know we have.
here,
Well, CT did give out Alabama to win the SEC at like 6.5 to 1 or something.
yeah.
So we do have that as well.
So those that have the Alabama or Notre Dame thing, I'm just gonna leave them. I think I'm not gonna think about Simpson getting hurt, and I like Texas Tech to win the game. So I'm basically just gonna ride that as like a Texas Tech money line ticket this week and hope they both hit. Because if it goes 1-1, those were like minus 170, minus 180 type of pieces. It's going to be a loser if they go 1-1. I'm just going to call that a good price on Texas Tech money line and go and hope Bama and Notre Dame are in.
All right. So commenting, how can Boise get in? So we just kind of laid it out again. I'm going to say it again. Boise is in, at least from what I understand. And I'm going to sure there's going to be a lot of people who get mad about this. I understand that. Boise is likely going to be in with a Duke win and a Tulane win over North Texas. That is, and of course, a Boise win over UNLV.
Likely in, or has a chance to get in?
That is, I think, okay, as it was described to me from now, not one, not two, but we're talking about three people now, likely in, Jules. That is the scenario I've been told. Okay. And Caveman still saying they can't get. You're wrong, Caveman. The committee can do whatever the fuck it wants. You guys have to start remembering they don't give a fuck about what we think. They're going to do what is best for the ratings at the end of the day. So that's why everyone is saying, well, they have to put Bama and they have to put Notre Dame. They can't leave these teams out. They don't care. And it's the same thing why I bet for Florida State a couple years ago to not be in because of this situation. The ratings matter more than the teams.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yep.
I went on VSiN. I was in Vegas that weekend and had a long argument on VSiN about instead of betting, who did they play? Louisville in. Was it Louisville in the ACC title?
I think it was Louisville. That sounds right. Yeah.
Instead of betting Louisville money line, I'm going to give myself a 10-cent. I'm going to pay 10 cents more to bet FSU to just miss.
Yeah.
And say, just in case maybe they do win and still miss, and they won and still missed.
Yeah, I got something insane on them to miss. It was like 8-1. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, there's no way that this is priced correctly and whatever. So again, Caveman saying Tulane is way better watch than Boise. You're not understanding the point, Caveman. Okay, I love you, mean it. You're missing the point. It's not about who is a better watch or a better team. It's ratings. Boise is a massive ratings draw in the group of five. Tulane is not. Even though I love Tulane, I have a Tulane to make the playoff ticket. Okay, this would suck for me. I bet them to win the AAC. I have them make the playoffs. I love them the minute that Retzlaff transferred over there. I'm telling you what has been told to me. It doesn't mean I'm 100% right. I'm just telling you what is told to me. I do not have nothing on Boise except to win the Mountain West at like minus 130 or whatever it was, the terrible number that we got before the year, Jules. I'm merely just telling you what's been told to me. It sucks. I don't like it. So there you go. Those were the Viva thoughts of the week. We started it off right away. I'll do the Viva read. The Tuesday opener of the Boston Handicappers Network is brought to you by sorry, is it you? No, this is me.
Do the read and then I'll talk.
Okay, it's brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer with only 88 calories and a 4.5% ABV. Viva Tequila Seltzer is the most refreshing seltzer out there, clean, light, and dangerously drinkable. Made with real tequila and bold flavors like huckleberry and grapefruit. Viva pairs perfectly with a winning ticket in some football. And right now, you can get 30% off all orders at vivatequilaseltzer.com using code BOS30 at checkout. Again, that's code BOS30. Viva, live long, live well, live it up, Viva. Again, there will be no live show in the month of December. We're getting damn close to popping over here. So unfortunately, no live show from me. We're going to resume likely in late January. So that is the plan as of right now. So there you go. Let's move on to the Bet 105 moves on the board, Jules. So we'll talk about a few games that have moved on the in the market there. And I will also read the Bet 105, read the Tuesday opener of the Boston Handicapers Network is also brought to you by Bet105.ag with the most competitive odds in the business. Go check out Bet105.ag. Be on the lookout for the Boston Handicapers best bet on the site where Bet105 will be boosting odds on our favorite play each and every week. Last week we boosted I actually can't remember who we boosted last week. But either way, go check out the player prop section where Bet 105 is giving out minus 110 odds on both sides of player props during NFL primetime games. An absolute must for prop bettors. And of course, they're giving out minus 103 sides in massive college football games right now. Bama, Auburn was the game they gave out last week. We'll be doing that. We're also going to be doing a Thursday night giveaway with Bet 105 for a potential $500 free bet. We have a bunch of stuff coming up with Bet 105 in the next couple weeks, so stay tuned. We'll also have a free play this week. I'm just not sure what it's going to be yet because it's only Tuesday, but we will also be having that. So a bunch of stuff Thursday, free bet contest coming up at Bet 105. And of course, player props and the 6-cent lines, everything right now. Bet 105. Go get over there and go get everything that you want over there. Best lines in the market right now. All right, let's start in the.
Dan, where can I bet Boise to make the playoff? That was.
I don't know. I have not seen it right now. I'm going to have to figure it out and kind of maneuver on the market of how they can make the playoff.
UNLV is available in the 30 to 60 to 1 range.
Right. And again, the UNLV price, which is funny because UNLV would be ranked lower than Boise with Madsen, which is obviously be based upon the market right now. As you can see, Boise went to a 4-point favorite the minute that Madsen was ruled in. So we'll talk about that game. Let's start off with Kennesaw, 103-104, Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State. Kennesaw goes from a small dog to a 2.5-point favorite, Jules. It's a Friday night game. It's a 7:00 game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of eyes on this one. Do you have any thoughts on this game whatsoever?
As long as the weather holds up, I was kind of considering the over.
Me too.
Which is 59.5. Look at that, Dan.
59.5, 60. Yep.
Yeah. So at 59.5, I kind of like the over there. They played earlier this season. And there were a lot of long drives that ended in turnovers. So, we got the move here on the side. Kennesaw from short dog to a favorite. That's great. I don't feel great about picking a winner in this one, but I think we should see some points. So I'm going to wait for this one to get closer. This is obviously not a game that I'm super passionate about because it's Kennesaw and Jacksonville State. But just looking back on these teams, I do think we should see some points. So maybe a small bet for me on the over. We'll see.
Yeah, I did the game earlier this year where I think Jacksonville State won by 9, like 35-26. I remember that game because I had Jacksonville State in that one. Amari Odom had 3 interceptions in that game. I think probably his worst game of the year. They were
a lot of them deep though, like driving at the 20-30 yard line.
Well, yeah, Dexter Williams came in. He also had a pick. So this is a very different Kennesaw State team. I think that this is going to be a team. I think Kennesaw is significantly better. I made them about 3.5 here, so I will also be on Kennesaw in this game. I don't think Jacksonville State's great. I think they're good. I think obviously they're good, made the championship game, but whole conference in general was kind of down this year. I like Kennesaw. I think they are still arguably the best team in that conference. I made them at 3.5 was my number now, and I'll probably be on them small in that one. So we'll see when we get there. Let's move on to a game that we actually care about. 109-110 Boise UNLV from a 1.5-point dog to a 4-point favorite. We mentioned this. So Madsen is back. I don't know if it's been 100% confirmed, but either way, he's starting. I think that's pretty much out there by now. People don't know it, whatever, but he's a big deal. He is a major deal from what they had last week. What did you think of Boise last week, Jules? Because I think there are a lot of people, so myself included, needed Boise State. I took Utah State plus 4.5 and plus 4 in that game as a hedge to my Boise State making the championship game. And I didn't know if they were going to make it, but there were some leaks in the media, the Boise State media, saying that Boise believes they have a very good chance of making it if they beat Utah State. And if New Mexico beats Jesus Christ, who am I blanking on right now? Who did Mexico? San Diego State. Thank you. Yeah, San Diego State. So Boise. So that was the case. So when New Mexico was, I mean, they were beating up on San Diego State pretty bad. I took some Utah State +4 before the game. Cutforth was actually really good. I thought he was going to be terrible.
Mountain West Player of the Week.
He was good, man. Dylan Riley was pretty good for them. I'm stunned that on the way that they won. I think it shows grit. I think it shows just balls. I was really impressed by the way they won. I think 4 is probably short in this game. I think UNLV is exactly what everyone expects them to be. They are, I mean, Jesus, they're a high flying team. They beat up on the shitty teams. I love Calandria. I think he's awesome. But outside of Calandria, I really don't love much about that team. I think defensively they are still soft. I think Boise is going to punch them right in the fucking mouth just like they did the first time. It's in Boise, which is obviously a major part of this game. I mean, look, the number obviously sucks being not 1.5 or not even being under 3, but this was a non-competitive ball game. October 18th when they fucking stuck their fucking fist down their throat. I bet Boise State in that game. Calandria was fine, picking that game. I think Madsen will be better too, but Chris Marshall wasn't even involved in the game plan last week, Jules. I think Madsen, with Madsen back, he'll be involved. Riley shoved it down their throat, 15 carries for 201 yards. I like Boise a lot this week. And again, their game plan last time versus UNLV was let Glover and let that UNLV team move the ball on the ground. Don't let them beat you through the air. Don't let those explosive plays happen. I thought for the most part, outside of that second quarter, they kind of got dominated there. They did a pretty damn good job of that. So what are your thoughts on that one, Jules?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Boise guy for the past couple of years, betting them to win the conference. Last year, I was betting them to make the playoff, to win the Natty, stuff that I could buy off of. I'm not that aggressive this year, but I have the Mountain West ticket sitting around, so I'm just riding that. Boise -135 to win the game. But yeah, I'm not thinking much of buying off it, and if I do, it will be a teaser with UNLV out to 10 for about a quarter of the money that I have on Boise to win the conference. So good confidence in Boise. UNLV turned it around a little. They got better, but there's been a lot of cracks. Like they've snuck out some games they shouldn't have. And some of that you can say, oh, that's grit. They keep winning games. They're 10-2, but I don't know. Not against Boise. Boise's owned them for years. And the fact that this is at Boise is a huge deal. You remember the game last year, there was a little bit of weather. UNLV was missing kicks. This is not UNLV weather.
No, it's not.
We're looking at a 50% chance of snow in this game. Last I looked, that would be great.
It would be great. I mean, I think that obviously favors Boise as well.
Yeah. So I'm all about Boise here. I like them a lot. I have enough on the conference that I just will leave it at that. But yeah, I think the conditions, the home field, Madsen, all of it favors Boise. They've just been a team that's kind of built to beat UNLV.
Yeah, remember that game was 28-24 at half, and then Boise just fucking destroyed them between.
And that was games. What was the spread on that game, Dan? Would that close 13, something like that?
Yeah, I think I bet Boise -11.5 in that game. That's what I'm saying.
Like 10.5, 11 early in the week, but it closed like 13-ish.
I think it closed.
And now
14.
We're getting them at home 4.
Right. And again, this is the same UNLV team that mid-November, they lost to New Mexico at home, right? New Mexico put up 40 on them. Then they had to beat Utah State in overtime in a game I thought they didn't even deserve to be in. They got very lucky in that game. And then, they did beat Hawaii, but away from the island. And they demolished Reno last week. They've Nevada, whatever, in Reno. Good for them. So I think they bounced back a little bit, but they had 2 weeks in November where they played pretty good Mountain West teams, and they look like absolute dog shit. And, again, they did beat Colorado State in that too. I think they are. I don't want to say like they're the Patriots where they beat up on the good teams and they lose to the bad teams, because I think the Patriots are like a good team now. But I think you can make an argument that they're kind of like they're Patriot-esque a little bit in that scenario where they struggle against teams with a pulse, and they are kicking the shit out of teams who kind of blow. So that's kind of where I feel about them. I don't know. I think -4 has got to be a bet at this point. Like I don't know how I could possibly get to anything else in this game.
Yeah, all Boise for me. I was looking around down here for my Boise hat. I guess it's upstairs, so I can't switch to that right now. I'll be wearing it Friday night at Circa watching this game. I'm very much looking forward to that.
You're gonna be in Vegas, right?
I will. Yeah.
All right, I'm jealous. All right, well, I'm gonna give it out.
I'm going with it.
I'm gonna take Boise -4 in this one. So my numbers, and even with Madsen being 75%, which is basically what I make it, I make Boise. I don't want to say. Put it like this: higher.
I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah, right. So
I'm just I'm officially in the books for what? Boise to win the conference for a unit.
Yeah, so Connor says Boise closed 13.5. So I have them closing 14 at Bookmaker and 14 at Circa. So either way, we're damn close. But I just don't see how this number could be where it is. I don't get it.
I would give it out, but I already essentially am on the record.
Well,
for it, right?
I am too. I mean, I am too, but like I just can't. I can't not bet this fight, even though I didn't bet whatever. I didn't bet it early in the week, but I can't not bet the number. All right, let's go over to a few other games here that have moved. 121, 121, 122. Vikes Commanders go from a 1-point dog to a 2-point favorite. Brosmer, I think, is going to be the starter this week. Jules, have you heard anything about Minnesota and where they're going with quarterback this week?
Nope.
Okay, I have not heard anything either. My guess is that it's going to be Max Brosmer again. I think the JJ McCarthy concussion is exactly what you think it is. I don't know, man. I wasn't exactly impressed with Brosmer, but like, come on, they gave him no opportunity basically in that game. That's a great defense. This team sucks. I like Minnesota in this game. I haven't bet it. I'm not going to bet it. I probably won't bet it. Even with Daniels coming back, most likely is what it sounds like. I still like Brosmer and the Vikings here. No bet for me, especially with Daniels coming back off the injury. That's always a dangerous situation, and who knows if he's fully healthy. I lean Minnesota here. Do you have a strong take on this one?
I have no take. Way too many moving parts. Daniels potentially back first game from off an injury. Commanders off going all out at home on Sunday Night Football and losing by overtime.
Yep, good point.
Minnesota sucking and Brosmer suckings. I don't want to bet this game. I barely bet. I took a little bit of Niners, which won. This is very small. A little bit of Niners, which won, and a little bit of RJ Harvey rushing yards on Sunday night, which lost, and went 1-on-1 on very small bets. I barely watched football on Sunday. That card sucked.
Yeah, no, I
watched
understand.
On Monday, that was fun. That looked good.
That did look good. I agree with that. I had a fun pregnancy scare on Sunday, so I missed the first hour of games, but I did watch the rest of the games.
You didn't miss much.
I didn't miss much. There were some good games though, man. I'll say, even though the card sucked ass, and it did, it was still a good fucking. I had fun. I still enjoyed my Sunday. Whatever. I'm not going to complain too much about it. So, whatever. Let's move on. Let me save this. Hold on, because I'm working on fixing some of these. Let's move on to the next NFL game. 135, 136. Bucks Saints goes from 7.5 to 9. The only reason I put it in here, it gets past 8 and 8.5, which I think are both relatively key numbers in the NFL now, the way that we're trending. Do you have any thoughts on this one, Jules?
Not much. I mean,
no,
the Bucks are pretty dinged up. I would consider the Saints. This is the time of year. I bet more volume, smaller bets earlier in the NFL season, less games, a little larger bets later in the season. There's not many games that I'm seeing right now that I'm all that passionate about, especially NFC South game where we're laying 9 points.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Figured I'd ask. Let's head over to. Well, we didn't talk about this, but we'll do the juice reel games of the week, Jules. We won't do the read, but we'll do the juice reel games of the week for this one. We'll put this up. But let's Let's get over to it. Let's get over to the Big 12 championship, 111-112. Texas Tech and BYU, currently a 12.5 point favorite, 49.5 is the total. Again, we've obviously talked about this game quite a bit, or at least a little bit here, because as we mentioned, getting Notre Dame in the playoffs is essentially Texas Tech money line. Having I guess Alabama also somewhat is important in this game, having Texas Tech money line as well, because if Bama loses, Notre Dame likely, let's say Texas Tech wins and Bama loses, Notre Dame has to jump Bama, correct? Has to.
Depends how it depends how it looks.
See, I
think it has to depend how it looks. Why do they have to jump them? Why is 10-3 Alabama now obviously worse than 10-2 Notre Dame? They're not.
Well, I mean, again, I think that who would you have? I mean, who would you have favored in that game? I think
Bama.
I don't think by much.
Maybe not by much, but Bama. Minus 2.5. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know, man. I think you have to. I think Notre Dame was ahead of them last week, right? They got jumped. They got jumped by the Auburn win. If you lose to Georgia, you got to put them back. You got to put them back. Like that's the way it has to go.
I don't guess. I don't. An SEC championship game loss to Georgia shouldn't hurt anyone much in this type of field.
But it's only one spot. It's not hurting them much. It's hurting them one spot. Which
I don't know. Whatever. As long as it doesn't, you can't have them lose and knock them out of the whole playoff.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it does, but it does affect the path.
Whatever. Yeah. As long as they make sure that Bama's in, then I guess I don't have much of a problem with it. But yeah, in regards to this game, I'm a Notre Dame to make the playoff, Bama to make the playoff better. So I'm just a big Texas Tech fan.
Yeah.
At much better numbers, essentially. This is the game that I won't have much on. I feel like the total is kind of low, although Texas Tech didn't let BYU do much last time.
I'm just not sure BYU can do anything.
So I feel great about where I'm at with the playoff tickets because it's just cheap prices on Texas Tech money line. I might tie Texas Tech money line into some stuff. I'd be interested maybe in Texas Tech team total over, although I don't know if they need to do too much anymore because now they just moved up into a bye spot in these rankings.
True.
So I don't know. I'm just very confident that Texas Tech doesn't slip up here and very hopeful.
Very fair. Checking in, our baseball guy, checking in, baseball prods, checking in, saying, what's up? Caveman saying, not if it's close, Bama doesn't get jumped. And he says the SMU precedent kicks in. I disagree because SMU last year, the team behind SMU in that game, first off, Clemson won at the buzzer and they came all the way back, whatever. So I guess it would have to depend on how it looks. But again, the team that was behind SMU last year, SMU was a wagon. Notre Dame is arguably better than Bama in multiple situations. So I think Bama gets in. If they even if they lose to Georgia, I think you have to flip them. Have to. I don't think it's a choice.
If there's any chance that Alabama doesn't get in from this game, they shouldn't even play the game. I don't.
Well, here's the thing: Bama doesn't get in if they get killed, like 14 plus. I mean, that's the thing. But even if they're in, right? Jumping one spot is the penalty for losing the SEC championship game. And I think if they win, where would you put Bama if they win, Jules? They're 9 right now. Where would you have them if they win?
Oh, God. I would have to pull up the board. Probably to where Georgia is. What is Georgia?
I think Georgia's 4 right now.
Well, no, didn't Texas Tech just jump to 4?
Maybe you're right. I think you're right. I think Texas Tech did jump to 4. They have them 6. So no, I thought Ole Miss was 6. Caveman's checking and saying.
Hold on, now I got to pull these up because
see, this happened right before everything. So yeah, okay, Georgia's 3.
3. Oh, okay, yeah. So you can't go that high. I was going to say Georgia must be 3.
I'd flip them. I flip them with Ole Miss. I'm going to punish. You have to punish Ole Miss somehow.
Yeah, that's fine.
How the fuck did Ole Miss not get punished from this?
That's fine. Even Oregon. I would put them above Oregon if they beat Georgia for a second time. I would put Alabama 5th.
I wouldn't put Oregon in. I wouldn't flip them from Oregon. I'd move Oregon up I'd move Georgia down, and I'm punishing Ole Miss.
Oh,
I don't know how
Georgia has to go down.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck we don't punish Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, Alabama would be fourth for me. It would go Ohio State and Indiana.
I'd have them 6.
Texas Tech, Bama, and then Georgia and Oregon have to be below them.
I'd have Texas. I'd have Ohio. Well, again, Indiana. One of Indiana, Ohio State's going to lose. This is actually way more complicated than I thought. Now I'd have to think because I haven't done all the scenarios in my head.
Oregon, but 12-1 Ohio State, Indiana could still be 2. If Georgia's 12-1,
depends on how it looks, right?
It all depends how it looks. If Georgia's 12 and if Georgia beats Bama and Georgia's 12-1 and Ohio State smokes Indiana, Georgia could go to 2.
Yeah, I think Caveman's right here. If Indy loses, do they miss a bye? I think that's a good question. I think if you're going to,
I don't think they miss a bye.
Well, if you punish Georgia, depending on how much you punish Georgia, I don't. And assuming again, we're talking about if they lose, if Alabama wins, I think you'd have to punish Indiana. I think if Georgia wins and Texas Tech wins, I think Indy misses the bye. I think they do. I think Indiana misses the bye. I think you'd probably move Oregon up to 4. Indiana would probably go to 5. That's probably the way you have to play because you'd reward you. Well, again,
Indiana went to Oregon and won.
I know, but but again, Indiana would just gotten bit smacked by Ohio State, assuming that's the situation.
Nope. That's Indiana 1 spot above Oregon for me.
All right, fair enough. I think I disagree with you, but either way, let's talk about that game. 115-116, Georgia, Alabama. Georgia currently a 2.5-point favorite. Did open as a pick. Where are you with this game right now, Jules?
What's the best Georgia money line?
I'd have to look. I think it's probably in the minus 135-ish region. Let me double check and take a look here. But what are you thinking here? You want Georgia?
Yeah. So Georgia money line is a play for me. You can hit the sounder.
Minus 135. I think
that's fine.
Novig has 127, but I'd say then
we'll do 135. Let's put it at something people can get.
All right. Yeah, minus 135 is available multiple places. By the way, I just want to give you a quick update here, Jules. The Celtics are getting absolutely fucking destroyed in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're down 11. It's the NBA, but not a good start for CT bets.
There you go. I feel bad. CT, he's the antithesis of Celtics winning. So
Sam Hauser missed a nice little backscreen alley-oop at the horn at first. Yeah, Georgia money line's a play for me. This is my favorite bet of the week. Really.
Okay.
So my favorite bet in college this week. It's just a really good spot. You lose at home, but it's a game. Georgia and Kirby Smart kind of figured them out, though. The Tennessee game, Georgia gives up 3 straight touchdowns to start the game. They figure Tennessee out. They come all the way back and win. They figured Alabama out in that game. They just didn't come all the way back and win. They shut Bama out in the second half. Alabama didn't score in the second half. Georgia ran a questionable 4th down call, didn't get the first down, could have kicked the field goal, would have been a tied game. Who knows what would have happened from there. But now you have Georgia looking for revenge from that earlier loss, coming off I'll call it momentum from September of Kirby figuring Bama out in the second half.
Yep.
I think that he's going to have a really good game plan for them out of the gates here. And when you don't come out in that hole, advantage Georgia. And I think Georgia's the better all-around team. Minor detail here, but because these teams play at Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta all the time. But Georgia just played in Mercedes-Benz last week against Georgia Tech. They didn't have to show anything. They just closed their eyes and beat Georgia Tech in a little grinder of a game. They did absolutely nothing. The game arguably didn't matter to them. It kind of did for seeding, but it didn't matter. They just sat back, and the week before that, they sat back against Charlotte. They haven't been doing anything. They've been preparing for this game, and now they know it's Alabama, and they can get revenge on Alabama. Meanwhile, Bama's gone to Auburn, nuts against the wall, going for it on 4th and goal, like high-pressure situations, huge do-or-die game. And now you got to turn it around and face this angry Georgia team with Kirby Smart figuring out that second half. And this really sets up well for Georgia in my mind. Georgia to win the SEC is my favorite spot of the week.
Yeah, Rudy G checking in saying might be a hot take. I don't think Bama is even that good. They haven't looked that good down the stretch. Makes you wonder if DeBoer has one foot out the door. So I heard, and I'm sure you heard this too, Jules, but I heard that the reason the Kiffin saga dragged on was because if Bama had lost to Auburn outright,
then that job opens up.
Bama would have been out of the SEC, and DeBoer is going to leave Alabama regardless. But Kiffin, the Bama job would have been open, and DeBoer would have been gone. So I do think that is going to play a big part of this. And Connor checks in saying total is interesting, 6 points lower than the game. I do think that's interesting as well. I think DeBoer.
I think part of that is the second half shutout that Georgia pitched. I think their defense is going to come out and look good early. They're not going to give up. How many points did Bama win that game? Was that 24-21?
Something like that, yeah.
So they gave up 24 first half points. That's going to be slower out of the gates this time.
I still think Ryan Williams has to be a factor in this fucking game, man. And I know he sucked, but like they have to get him going in this game. Have to, absolutely have to. I don't know how he has been just so terrible in the last couple of weeks, but if they don't get Williams going, I know he has been in and out, but if they don't get him going, they can't win this game. Bernard has been phenomenal at times, but he can't do everything. They have to get Williams going. I think that's the key to the game for Alabama is getting Williams going there. So I have nothing on this game yet. No play for me in that one. All right, let's go over to the ACC Championship. 117-118 Virginia Duke. Virginia currently 3.5 point favorite. 58's the total. Has come down a little bit from the open. Do you have anything in this one, Jules?
I have a question for you on this game, Dan. Do you think that Virginia gets any help in this game to avoid the catastrophe situation of Duke winning?
Yeah, I've thought about the conspiracy angle. I do think that they are going to get a little help from the ACC. I do believe this is going to be an ACC slanted game towards Virginia. I
kind of agree.
I think that it's something that the ACC absolutely needs. Like, because if Duke wins, I don't think the ACC gets a team in the college football playoff.
Duke being there is a joke. So Duke winning makes them just look like a clown show.
I mean,
for those reasons,
got to figure it out.
Without even breaking down the game, I just kind of lean to Virginia. And, it's the night game going up against Ohio State. I'll be a huge Buckeyes fan on Saturday night. Haven't figured out where I'm watching these ones. Might be at Caesars. I lean Virginia. I'll probably have Virginia in some form or fashion, but that probably is like a Saturday move for me.
Okay. All right. Well, it's absolutely fucking crazy where we're at with that one. I don't understand. I don't understand it at all.
Yeah. Any listeners out in Vegas this weekend, shoot me a DM. We'll grab a beer.
And again, if Duke wins, and Caveman has this theory, Duke wins, could they force the committee's hand to stick Miami as the ACC rep? That's not, the rules are very clear.
Yeah, it's just not allowed.
It's not allowed. It should be. I agree. It should be. They should change the rules so that this doesn't happen again, where you get the highest. Make it a computer, right? Make it some sort of fucking private computer system like the Mountain West has, and you get to decide whoever the fuck you want. Figure it out. You tell the fucking team, figure it out. I want this team in.
Oh, he's saying as an at-large. So, no, because they would have to jump
they can't jump Notre Dame.
They would have to jump BYU and Notre Dame.
Well, not necessarily BYU. If
BYU loses,
right?
And they would have to. So how is Miami going to jump Notre Dame? The time to do that was tonight.
The only way that they could get in is if.
And I agree that Miami has an equally good resume as Notre Dame with a head-to-head win.
I agree,
but the rankings have already been. They're already there, right?
Right. The rankings are out. So Notre Dame is firmly ahead of Miami. So here's the way I look at it. Miami gets in with a Bama loss and an injury to Simpson. That's their path. That's it. That is their path to getting in. And yes, Boise can get in because they can do whatever they want, but Miami can't jump Notre Dame because Notre Dame would be getting in on an at-large. Miami would be getting in on an at-large. So Miami and Notre Dame's a much bigger fan base, caveman. Okay, just to give you an idea, Notre Dame's a much bigger fan base, has much bigger ratings than Miami. So yes, they would put.
But the Boise thing is also about the quarterback. So that's why you're saying Miami could jump. It is consistent. I will say Dan's actually consistent here when normally he's all over the place.
Fuck you.
The Boise is a quarterback related thing.
Correct.
And we're saying that Miami could jump Alabama. We're saying Alabama would get in if they lost to Georgia as long as everything's clean. But if Bama has Simpson get hurt, then Miami could jump Bama with a hurt Simpson. So that is consistent that it's based off of who is your quarterback now and 100%. How good are you now.
It's 100% based upon your injuries as a team. Again, do you punish Boise for having to go to your second and third string quarterback against San Diego State and some other teams during the year when you could have looked significantly better? Or, yeah, and again, as Connor's mentioned, Boise is a conference champion, a group of 5 conference champion. Okay, so again, would you rather have Tulane, where no one's going to watch that game, or would you rather have Boise, where you're going to get a large fan base and a large representation of people who are not Boise fans watching the game? It's for you. Yes, I agree, caveman. I understand. I need Tulane to get in. I understand you're upset about this. I need Tulane as well.
I will also be stunned if Boise gets in. I think you guys are looking pretty good. But
I'm telling you right now.
Caveman's been pulling me aside in the bars at the live show, telling me about his James Madison and Tulane tickets for months.
Well, JMU is getting in unless they lose. Okay, if JMU doesn't get in, I think that'd be a travesty too. So either way, it's a fucking disaster. Let's talk about 119, 120, Ohio State, Indiana, Jules. This is down to 4 now. I tried to tell you guys this is the way it's going to go. This is the worst spot that Ohio State's going to have all year. It's the worst spot. There's no other worst spot arguably, maybe in the entire country. Ohio State's coming off Michigan. Massive game, super emotional. They sucked dick in that first half. They were terrible. Sane was terrible in the first quarter. First quarter. He was terrible. Okay. Atrocious throwing the interception, was bad, nervous, whatever. Michigan couldn't make them pay because they're Michigan. If that's 10-0, it's an entirely different ball game. I'm not sure where that one goes. I think Ohio State still wins, but I don't think it's nearly as dominant. Now, Indiana has obviously been prepping for this game for a couple weeks now. I still like Ohio State, but I'm telling you, this is going to be a really good ball game. I don't think Ohio State's going to roll out the balls and fucking just destroy them. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think this is going to be a fucking, easy W for Ohio State. And again, I'm going to say it. I don't think Julian Sane is a good quarterback compared to the Heisman. Okay. He is a very good Power 5 quarterback. He's going to be an awesome quarterback next year and may even be a top 5 draft pick. He's super accurate. However, he's a check down queen. He's Mac Jones of the NFL. He's a check down queen. He's always underneath. And when he finally does throw deep, his guys are open by like 5 yards. The 2 throws that he hit last week on those 2 touchdowns were the 2 biggest separation touchdowns of any Power 5 team in the entire college football last week. I mean, just they're wide open. The one dude was 15 yards open, and the Smith touchdown, he had like 5 yards on him. It's just, they're really hard throws to miss. Like, and he's throwing out there to the 2 best guys in college football. Now, Jules, forget about the game. Heisman talk. Sayan's like what, plus 160-ish? I think. What are the odds right now, DraftKings? You have them. I can't bring them up because Massachusetts doesn't let us bet on any of those things because Massachusetts is fucking stupid as fuck. So, whatever.
All right. At DraftKings, and again, this will be different many places. Ooh. Pavia has passed Sayan.
Okay.
Which mirrors some other books. Mendoza, this is a 3-man race. Love has dropped out basically at 40-1.
Because he got injured last week. Otherwise, I think Love wins, by the way.
I know that was so bad for us.
Love was 2-1 after he scored the touchdown against Stanford. Crazy. He was 2-1. Yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll just go fuck ourselves there.
Yeah, didn't need the $35,000 anyways. Who cares?
Mendoza plus 160, Pavia plus 180, Sayan plus 200. 20 cents, 20 cents, 20 cents.
Okay.
Mendoza, Pavia, Sayin
Right.
in that
We
order.
don't need to talk about the rest of them. Okay.
Where it's a three-headed monster, and DraftKings is taking slight stances on who to favor there.
So if I had a vote,
go ahead.
If I had a vote, it'd be Pavia. Okay. And I would
easy vote for me.
Easy. It wouldn't even be close. Mendoza has been great. What is the best part of the Indiana team? The offensive and defensive lines.
Mendoza. Okay. Sure, go ahead.
Indiana's best, the best part of Indiana's team are the defensive line and the offensive line dominating things up front. That's
fair, but it's led to Mendoza playing really well, whereas Ohio State
100%
saying has played good, but the backbone is the defense.
And again, he's not. I think my personal opinion is I would not have Sayin as a top 4 player on the offense. I have Jeremiah Smith, I have Carnell Tate, and I have Bo Jackson. All 3 guys are better than him, in my opinion. No one thinks Jackson's very good. I think
Bo Jackson is nasty. Okay, I mean, you saw that in the Michigan game. He gave them a spark that they really needed to get going.
100%. I think he's the 3rd best player on that offense. I think Julian Sayin is a distant 4th. I don't think it's close. He's phenomenally accurate on short passes. No doubt about it. He has an unbelievable accuracy. Deep balls, I don't think he throws enough of them. And you see the air yards and you see, the A dot with him, and it's significantly lower against larger opponents. So the A dot looks good against your Purdue's. When it's Illinois or it's Washington or Texas, he looked like dog shit in those games, and there's a reason. And even last week, he wasn't good until the end of that Michigan game. So again, I'm still very anti-Sayin, even though I'm an Ohio State fan. I'd give it to fucking Jeremiah Smith over him, even though Smith obviously will never win it. But that would be my vote there. So my personal vote's Pavia. I think what's going to happen is I think Sayin is going to win because I think Ohio State's going to win, and I think Sayin is going to win. Pavia should win based upon what the award was, although the 2 interceptions last week, one of those was real bad.
But the overall yardage and touchdowns and rushing and the win, and you're 10-2, you had a 4.5 win total. If it's the best player and whatever, is it best player? Is it, what's the definition again? Like, most standout player, whatever.
It's most standout player, correct?
Yeah, it's Pavia. I'll tell you this: since games kicked off on Saturday at DraftKings, 17% of the bets for 36% of the handle are Pavia.
Outstanding performance that best exhibits the pursuit of excellence with integrity. That is what it's awarded for. It's Pavia. I mean, that
10-2, and I compare it to Jaden Daniels. Not that Pavia is going to be the draft pick or player that Jaden Daniels is, but Jaden Daniels was on a 9-3 LSU team. Who was he going up against?
What do you mean? Oh, it was Michael Penix.
Penix, yeah. I mean, those were 2 good candidates. There's not 2 good candidates. Penix would win it this year, hands down.
Easily. I mean, that's
pretty impressive. If Daniels can beat Penix on an undefeated team, how can Pavia not beat Sayin or Mendoza?
Because if you remember, Penix won, not to mention, Penix won the fucking Pac-12 championship.
I was at that game.
Yeah, you were at that game. Yeah, I loved Washington that game. Everyone in
that was bombed way. I left that game thoroughly impressed. I was like, oh wow.
Yeah. And so to me, I think Pavia is literally Pavia should win it. And I
bet also Pavia 3-1 today, to be honest.
I agree with this.
That's kind of just
the most
hopeful.
College football player since Tebow. I agree with that 100%. Yeah. He is the definition of college football. Was Manziel
Sayin or Mendoza? One of them is going to have to look really, really good in a win.
I would agree. I still think if either of them have even average games, I think Pavia wins. If either of them have good games, they win. Our guy checking in, Gucci Goo, how is Notre Dame in? We talked about it. Notre Dame is in. There's no way. There's basically no way that they get out, with the exception of BYU winning. BYU money line equals Notre Dame out. Notre Dame out. Yep. That's the only way. There's no other way.
Identical bets.
So Notre Dame is in with a Texas Tech with a Texas Tech win. Notre Dame is out with a BYU win. That's it. So, do you have
my
any thoughts?
Really quick, my stance on this game? I think Ohio State wins, but it couldn't be a worse spot for them. I agree. They haven't been in a bad spot all year. They haven't been coming off a big game all year, other than the Texas game. And I don't remember who they played, but it was probably North Dakota State. Like, I don't. They haven't had a big game following a big game.
Here's my other thought for you, Jules. This game doesn't matter to them.
To a degree.
I mean, if they lose this game, what happens to them?
It's kind of nice that if you're going to, they didn't play in this game last year. They kind of want to regain the Big Ten crown. And
yes,
you kind of want to, if you're going to, now you're going to play this 13th game, but they didn't play a 13th game last year. They had to play a playoff game, but not this one. You don't want to play this game, lose it, get knocked out of a bye, and have to play again.
They played Tennessee, which was like fucking like playing like tissue paper. I mean, they
sure, but you don't want to play this, but they didn't have to play the Big Ten game.
So okay, but even if they lose, they're the number 1 team. They're still getting a bye. You can move them down to 4. They'll get the 4th bye. You're not putting Oregon ahead of them. They have wins against Texas. They have wins against Michigan. They have win against Illinois. They have win against Washington, and a much more impressive win against Washington than Oregon just had. So they go to 4. They still get a bye. I'm telling you my
I don't
angle.
know if I need to hedge. I haven't decided if I need to hedge with any Indiana or not.
I don't think Ohio State gives a fuck about this game. We'll get some better info. Our guy CT Bets get some good info about this about Ohio State. And
I'm gonna need that info to know if I need to bet Indiana or not.
I agree. I
have a lot of Ohio State to win the conference.
I agree. So I'm talking about if Pavia wins, I'm fucked, and he goes to the turn of profit. And if I push if Saiyan wins, I mean,
nothing like a Heisman push. Quick update: Celtics are leading.
Really? Yep. What's the score?
47-46. 4.5 minutes left in the half.
There you go.
Good one on the hardwood. Syracuse is leading Tennessee. I looked at them getting 8. Didn't do it.
Then a couple other questions are: do you think Clemson would fire Dabo? I mean, at this point, I think it's a little late in the game. If they don't fire Dabo, I think they probably already should have fired Dabo if they were going to. I think that'll come next year. And do you think Lane will bring back Coach O? I don't know, nor do I care. I gotta be honest, I don't know.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Probably not.
I don't think so. Brown is apparently having a good night. I'm not watching the game. So
Jaylen Brown has 30 points in the first half.
Really?
I've been keeping an eye. Like
I think that's what he bet. I don't know.
I got 3. Oh, okay. I got 3 screens in front of me, but yapping away with you guys. I can't.
We have 4 NFL games. Let's not do all of them. Let's talk about one game. All right. Well, one game. We can talk about more on the podcast. I know your Jules will not be in the podcast. This is going to be me and CT Bets doing the pod. But let's talk quickly about one game. This is the one game I'm interested in. 101, 102 Thursday Night Football. Lions Cowboys. Lions are a 3-point favorite. 54.5 the total. I have heard no Amon-Ra. They do not want to risk him. They do not want to risk him if he re-injures that ankle and it turns into a severe high ankle sprain. He will be out for the season. So I've heard he is not going to play in this game. I'm assuming this number comes down. All right, and it's 3 minus 105 at circa bet 105 right now. I'll have to pull it up and see what I can find there. Because I have college football, but it's 3 minus 103 at bet 105. Obviously, the best number in the market. I still like Detroit here. I don't know what else to do. I still like Detroit here. What are your thoughts there?
I took some over 53.5, which is now 54.5, which is a significant number.
Some very, very important number. I wouldn't bet over at this point.
Yeah, so I can't do that. As the underdog, I'm pretty confident the Cowboys are going to score.
I agree. I just think that, again, this is going to be the same type of thing. I think we're going to see just an insane high scoring game and yada, yada, yada.
So again,
Jameson Williams overs and whatever.
How key is that number if it's going to be, if I think the Cowboys are going to score, but we think the Lions respond in this game.
Key. It's still key.
It's key. So what I'm doing is, and this goes semi against you, what is Dallas's team total?
I can find it.
26.5.
Okay.
27. I feel like the Cowboys are going to score 27 points in this game. I don't have a play. My play for the show tonight is Georgia, and we'll leave it at that. And we're big Boise fans. I'm not giving them out strictly because of the preseason ticket.
Right.
But Dallas team total over something. This is going to be a barn burner of a Thursday game, I think. And it's not your normal Thursday game because both teams played on Thanksgiving. It's
correct.
A regular rest week. So you can throw out the normal Thursday shenanigans.
And again, if it's Jamison Williams, who's the top wide receiver, again, last week.
Okay, if it's JMO against Dallas and Amon-Ra doesn't play, then yes, we will reopen the prop shop for that one.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I think. I think Amon-Ra is not going to play. You're going to see a lot of Tom Kennedy was their second leading receiver last week, 4 receptions, 36 yards. I think could be some very good prop situations in this game, which is exactly where I was kind of talking about. I think there's some really good situations there for some Lions bets, maybe some Lions stuff, whatever. So there you go. A couple of guys talking about the Buffalo Cincinnati game. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the podcast and whatever.
Interesting one.
Yeah, but anyways, we've gone up for an hour and 6 minutes now. Let's call it now. Well, yeah, good show today. Talked about a lot of college football, hit all the playoff stuff, hit all the Heisman stuff, whatever. I'm rooting for the Celtics. We want our guys CT bets to win a few bucks tonight. So rooting for the Celtics and obviously Celtics fans in general. So rooting for them. Again, me and CT bets will be recording the podcast tomorrow night. It will be out Thursday afternoon. And probably early-ish afternoon, say like 12, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. That is my guess. And I might be later Thursday. I just remembered I have something Thursday. So might be later Thursday afternoon, but we will definitely be out in time for Thursday Night Football and whatever. So hope everyone has a great next couple of days. Me and CT Bets again tomorrow on the podcast. We'll be out Thursday. We'll talk about college football again. We'll hit all the NFL with the Heisman, with the playoffs, everything. CT might have some different thoughts than Jules. So we'll do that again. Hope everyone has a great rest of your night. Talk to you tomorrow.